I think that's kudos to your state. We have states whereby they call them to even give them West tactics in solving problems. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Fatai Akisome Esquire, sir. Yes, you are a retired intelligence officer. How do you see this? Where does that intelligence come in here? Because I know they worked together. The security operatives, they worked together. The intelligence, how did it come in here?
Well, first and foremost, I have to appreciate the leadership of all the agencies. It is critically clear that there is appropriate and detailed procurement of intelligence and dissemination same timely for the appropriate units. But we have to appreciate again the everybody in Nigeria that really makes sure that they condemn the disastrous act, but most especially the people in the Southwest. If you do comparative analysis of what always happens when such things happen in the North and what happens when it happens now in Oriri, which is the Southwest, if you are coming outside the country, you will not be able to determine which part of the state is Oriri. You may assume that it is Lagos if you see those who are protesting. If you go to Abeokuta again, which is Ogun State, the same thing. You go to Ondo, the same thing. You go to Ado, the condemnation was almost simultaneous, as if they didn't assume that it is Oyo State. They all assume it is our body, and that is how it should be. But if you do comparative analysis of in the North, where some are condemning, some are even say no, don't touch terrorists, negotiate with them, don't do this. They will not come, they will not talk, act in unison. So the activities of the Southwest populace help in exerting much authority within Nigeria and even outside Nigeria. So we have to appreciate them. But it cut across all disciplines. Whether you journalists, whether they are lawyers, whether they are engineers, everybody were on the same page. So we have to appreciate them. To go back precisely to your question, as I said earlier, the dissemination of information, of intelligence, procurement of intelligence and dissemination system, and the planning. Because if the leadership of the agencies is not planned very well and coordinate very well, they will not be able to achieve what was achieved. Because immediately the terrorists, the first demand is that the release of their ogas, their boss who has been arrested by DSS, and these are the same people who are already on even the wanted list, both in US and in UK. So that was their first demand before they went down to say that the Southwest should be Islamanized, and they made the other demand of money and buses and motorcycles. But thank God that was almost immediately that the federal government said no, there's nothing like that. We are not paying a dime. No to all those their demands. So that all those people should be released unconditionally because they are not going to pay any money for any ransom for anything. And thank God, when the Department of State Services now thought that they have to exert certain pressure on them now also, their family were arrested because by that time they have determined, they have known those who are perpetrating the act. And they went after their family, they arrested some, they arrested their mother, their father, their son, some, their wives. And they did video call to show them, these are your people. There are people who also talk to them, even in the bush, that, well, if you made any mistake to deal with those children, all your family will be killed. that singular act makes, results into serious psychological trauma. They want to kill other people's family. They don't want their families to be killed. And unfortunately, by that time, enough mobilization has been done by all the military agencies. They have known the children are there. They have known how they are moving from one place to another. And they create small exits where they can assume that they want to pass through when they are running away. So it was a very sound security operations. And we have to give kudos to all those that have participated in the act. And the DSS, most especially for the intelligence gatherings and the disseminations of same to the appropriate agencies.
And the kinetic approach.
Yes, actually.
Yes, group captain, retired group captain, the implication of this, when some are saying if it was negotiations that will make these kids and the teachers not to be, armed, well, be it. That was what some people were saying then. And now, a swift action has been taken, coordinated, action. And yes, and we have all seen the results. When one of my colleagues, we were discussing on one of our programs on radio conversation every morning, he said, well, he used to say that these negotiations will make kidnappings come up again. They will go and kidnap somewhere else and look for ransom. Like you said, it is big business now. Yes, big business. Now, this implication of this action now, do you think it will stop further kidnappings by these criminals?
Thank you, please. It won't stop. The psyche of the terrorists is different from those combating it. These people are desperate. Okay, we successfully rescued the captives. A day after, I've seen on the social media that another teacher has been captured in Igona. Is he Igona?
Igbojayi.
Yeah?
Igbojayi.
Igbojayi.
It was rescued. It was, maybe rescued or maybe they paid ransom yesterday.
Oh, that they were demanding 30 million. Things are happening in your general area. And see what I'm just even hearing that they paid ransom. The payment of ransom, we always enhance, this banditry or kidnapping or whatever.
But the police insisted that they were the ones that rescued them in a coordinated attack, like the one that happened in the Really. Yes, although the family claimed they paid 5 million naira.
You see, families are usually very desperate. There are some sacrifices you have to do for the safety of the community. And let the professionals handle the situations. Police are still gathering intelligence. DSS has yet to do their work, and all of you paid 5 million and they release it. That means you messed up the operation now. So what I'm saying is that now, such things must be prevented. No payment of ransom is no payment of ransom. But however, what do we do that it will not be recurrent and it will not be occurring again? Let there be police patrol. Like I said here, there was always money for us to use when I was in service. Operational fund. And I was saying, who collects security vote? Is security vote being used for what it should be used for? But this one that has succeeded, you agree with me that money was involved and the money was used for what it should be used for. And that is why all of us are so happy. But if money is released and somebody pockets it, thinking nobody will know, you have sabotaged security ab initio then. So, just as you said, whether it is this something will stop, it won't stop. Oh. They will go to other vulnerable areas, and all the vulnerable areas has to be manned. All the vulnerable areas, as we are talking now, their sponsors are watching us. That is why I said there are certain things we cannot say on the air. As we are talking, so their sponsors are watching us. What we say, what we intend to do, how do we counter it. They are watching, so don't ever think they will stop. But the nature of Yoruba now, one we rescue have succeeded, now we are going to sleep.
Relax, yes.
We are going, which is bad.
Yes, that's what I said.
Then those vulnerable areas, look, well, I know that the securities, all the agencies are overstretched. I had the chief of army that said that 85% of army personnel are committed into this, banditry and Boko Haram and all sorts of things like that. How many remains? Again, people must man the barracks now. You agree with me? We need enlistment. Oh. Seriously. The strength of the police has to be tripled. Army tripled. Air Force, good platforms. I spoke with the air commander, Air Commodore Njoku, the base commander here. Strength has to be doubled because Nigerian space is vast, especially in the north. Very vast. If you say you are deploying in Kaduna town, somebody is causing havoc in Zaria. Between Kaduna and Zaria, there is Jaji. So they have more than, but here there is no more space here. Okay, Ogbomoso, when you count off Ogbomoso, Orire, Ashamu, and all sorts of things, they are virtually isolated there. They never even planned to stay for 50 days or 56 days. So, like the Yoruba will say, when the masquerade is pursuing you, keep running, have patience, keep running, because as you are getting tired, the masquerade too is getting tired. Yeah. So that is it. They should never think it won't happen again.
Yes, sir.
But for it not to happen again, firstly, we must think ahead of the adversary. How can he do? What can he do? How can he do it? And as if he's already doing it, we start taking action to forestall anything like that. Thank you.
Yes, like you said, proactive measures should be taken at this point.
Yes.
Yes, I had an information that, the old National Park will be combed. Yes, will be combed. And I believe, Honorable Fatai Akinsomi, I believed that, they should now not concentrate, even in collaboration with the Oyo State government, not concentrate on the Old National Park alone. There are so many forests around us. Yes, around Ibadan, around, the suburbs, Eluwa, Igbora, and all those Kishi, Shaki, all those they link, and the Old National Park encompasses all those areas. So now, how do you think the federal government, through the military, the state government, can achieve this? Trying to ensure that the proactive measures that I mentioned. How do you think?
Military policing. Unfortunately, they have moved some step forward. The bill has been passed by both by the National Assembly, and some of the vital part of it that requires state of assemblies and deliberations. I think by now it's on its way to the states. So once those things are passed, then the state policing will come on board. And the state policing will definitely, there will be much input from the community. And once there is input from different community, the next stage will be proper dissemination of information or intelligence to the appropriate authority. I think, and I heard sometime during this incident that the federal government has decided that there is going to be an army barrack. I think I heard it was around in the base in the Orire suburb area. So it is the provisions of such establishment that can be to ensure that the community are involved in the community policing, so that when they hear, initially there was a program I participated in where I said the hunters, the forests we are talking, they are preserved, they are reserved. And cannot even go there again to go and kill animals. You know what I'm saying? So we have hunters who can even man those forests if they are given license to kill some animals. It is just to control. It will be double. They will license, then they will renew their license. It is true they will be killing some of the animals, some animals in the forest. But the most important thing is that the forest should be saved.
But they are supposed to be forest guards.
Yes, if we have the forest guard, what about the forest extended to all the 10 local governments in northern in Okiogun? And it extended up to Niger and even Sokoto. So don't think about something, and it's not isolated as such. It went just like that. So it's not a small forest. But the most important thing is that once there is community and state policing in Oyo, the same thing will happen in Kwara, the same thing will happen in Kogi, the same thing will happen in Niger. So the remaining area that may remain unsecured will be manageable by the security operatives. So that is the most important thing. They should provide adequate security establishment, and where they know that some schools cannot be so isolated or so far from the main town, they can relocate the school to another place.
The chief of army staff, group captain, he said he called Oyo one of the most peaceful. Yes, one of the most peaceful, regions. Does the success of this mission prove security is improving, or was this just an isolated one?
Well, I think the chief of army is right in his assumption. However, it was the same assumption that made us to think that nothing will happen because Oyo is peaceful. Now, it happened in Orire. Just as my respected colleague have said, community policing is so essential. And I've said on this same platform before that those forests must be combed and sanitized. Local hunters, vigilantes, Amotekun, every day, nationwide. Sunday Igboho did something good. He went in there only to discover that places where nobody was supposed to live, some Fulanis have established their towns right underneath vegetation. And what are they doing? Illegal mining of lithium. Since that guy has made noise about that thing, I doubt if the government has taken action. Working with foreigners, a bag being carried to Kishi will fetch them 20,000. Just one bag. So this thing is incorporated with illegal mining. It's been a long time, even when I was in the service, I've heard that Malians are mining something. In fact, that incident in Bodija here,
yes,
that explosion,
yes,
Malians brought in those explosives. So Malians brought in those explosives. So we are too relaxed in Nigeria as a whole. And when we are talking of relaxation, nobody relaxes more than the Southwest. We are too relaxed. I don't know if anything even happened to those people who put those explosives in that. Can you imagine that area in Bodija?
Yes.
Look, even in the barracks when you are keeping your arms far away from living areas. So just like I said, whether isolated or not, Oyo State is peaceful. That is why we are able to come here from our locations. It's not in every state in Nigeria you can move around peacefully. You must have an ear to the ground. So, but then, just as he said, community policing. Now, we delay too much on what is so essential. This community policing, we've been talking of it well over 6 years. The president said, thank you, please.
And don't you think the State Policing Act or maybe bill, the senators are for dragging on this issue?
Look, some of them are sponsors of this insecurity. Who brought in insecurity? Why must not be against why is it that anything that will secure the country, some people will be against? If anybody is against community policing, or what do you call it? Is it not community? State policing. Whoever is against it, only an enemy of Nigeria. Police covers more area in Nigeria than the military. Because it is police duty they are dragging us to do now. That's the military. Police, they are well dispersed. Police will come into it if something overwhelms the police, even rioting.
Yes.
Police is too important. Everything about our life involves police. If they dupe you now, you won't go to the army to call army to come and help you investigate now. It is police. Everything about our life involves police. So state policing, it will reduce workload on the federal police. More areas will be covered. More grants will be covered. And there will be peace. Everybody, whichever state does not like state policing, let them go and be manning their bandits and whatever Boko Haram that they have. We who love to create state police, let us create it and move on.
Yes.
You can't be a drag.
Yes, sir. You were about to say something.
Yes. You see, this policy this new policy of state policing and other things, you need somebody who has the political will to do it. It's not that if you are president of the nation and you don't have that political, again, the issue of this, like my brother said rightly, that this issue of terrorism is not a thing that you just say you close your eyes and open and say it's gone. It's not like that. Although unfortunately, there are some who are criminals, just their mode of operation is just kidnapping.
Yes.
They are not terrorists. They are criminals who probably have thought that instead of going to armed robbery at the express road where they can easily be caught, it's better they change the mode of the criminality to kidnapping, where they will just pay ransom.